Shalom, shalom, shalom. All right, so this is a lesson on girding, because this is a very important one too. All right, girding thy loins. So let's start with the loins. The loins is, to get to it, your nacho. Not your balls, not your asshole. Not your pussy, not your asshole. Right? Your loins. It's your nacho. The part of the body on both sides of the spine between the lowest false ribs and hip bones. The region of the sexual organs, especially when regarded as a source of an erotic or procreative power. Okay? Now, gird. Ooh. Prepare oneself. Secure. Okay? Encircle. Surround. Prepare oneself. Okay? It's an actual movement though. There is a physical manifold to it, to where it is to gird up thy loins also means to gird up thy loins of thy mind. True. You know, you got to watch your thoughts. Obviously, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Okay? But to gird up thy loins is to gird up your to gird up your private. It's an actual movement. Denoting exercises performed by women to strengthen the pelvic floor muscles involving, and so it's like squeezing. So let's say it's an actual, okay. I got so much information, but it's like I gotta leak it because y'all babies, and so you guys drink milk. I used to drink milk too. I still drink milk. I'm drinking milk right now, but drinking milk as in like knowing simpler things like how to walk. And so I'm trying to give y'all meat without overdoing it, because I always overdo it because I have an extreme personality. Okay. So to gird thy loins, as we were speaking, is, okay, you know when you don't want to piss yourself or you don't want to shit yourself, and so you squeeze it in? Okay, that same actual movement, that same squeeze is girding thy loins, because there's so much more properties to that. It connects the spirit with the flesh. And so what I'm saying is, when you gird thy loins, now I had a big issue with porn, and I don't have as big of an issue with porn anymore. All praise and honor and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. With that being said, I was reading that once when it said, gird up thy loins now like a man, for I will demand an answer, thou me. From on Jobs. Okay? Gird up now thy loins like a man, for I will demand of thee and answer thou me. Okay? So to gird up thy loins, when you're in a fight or flight mode, when you're in a situation that causes your body to go into a fight or flight mode, your muscles activate and your brain activates certain chemicals within your mind. Your mind activates certain chemicals that make your body do something, that give you a certain energy of atoms and energy from the spirit into the body, because the spirit is strong. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. And so the spirit is the life source. Okay? Because a broken spirit who can... What is that? Is a broken and contrite heart, Salakia. Who can bear it? Is who can bear it? Bear. Salakia. A man's spirit will sustain him in his sickness, but who can bear a broken spirit? I just lost my train of thought so heavily just then. Oh, okay, so gird up thy loins, right? Fight or flight, right? Oh yeah, how I just lost my mind. Okay, so when you're in a fight or flight response, I just got it back. When you're in a fight or flight response, your body initiates that girding of thy loins. When you're about to scrap somebody, when you're ready to scrap, you squeeze that area unknowingly. You unknowingly gird up thy loins. Okay? You can't walk around, because if you're not girding thy loins, you have to learn how to gird thy loins. You have to practice your Kegel muscle. Okay? Because it's a vortex. I'm going to just start spilling meat, bro. I can't hold all this meat in. Okay? When you gird thy loins, you're squeezing your asshole shut. When you're relaxed, your asshole is open. Your muscle around that area, that private area, is open. And that is a spiritual vortex. There's a spiritual entrance where demons and such can come in and plague you, but not direct. You're not walking around and it all coming up your ass. No. What I'm saying is, like, if somebody's carrying negative energy and they know how to shoot it out, how they know how to shoot it out is because they know how to gird thy loins, which is so hilarious. It's ironic. Because they know how to gird thy loins, they know how to shoot their energy at you. And if you walking around ungirded with your asshole open, no muscle there, like in that area, you're not constantly squeezing that area all the time, okay? Then they're able to shoot negative energy at you, and that being one of the vortexes that it could enter through. There's so much wisdom. But we're all stuck on milk, but it's okay. Milk's good. Okay, so now the other thing. It has to do with everything. Girding is the root. It's where our energy comes from when we are in the sack. We're from the sack. We go into another sack, a female sack. You feel me? We come from a sack of huevos, of eggs, into another sack of where you're going to be held until you're made, and we come out. And when we're made from the ground up, from the root up. All right? Now, I know the chakras and all that is bullshit, but there is real wisdom that's hidden. You got to know how to separate the meat from the bones. Okay? This is what they know that we don't know, Israel. The root is to gird thy loins. You have to know how to walk around girding your loins. Literally. The root, whatever, is located at the base of the spine. It provides the foundation on which we build our life, representing safety, right? Fight or flight, safety, security, and stability. Imbalanced attributes would be scattered energies, anxiety, and fear. Okay, if you walking around with your booty not tight, when you don't gird, you got to practice your Kegel muscle. It's like this. Okay? This is what it feels like when you squeeze, and you got to practice that muscle. Now, how I started was I was watching so much porn that I felt ashamed all the time. And so I'm telling you, please teach me how to gird my loins. Like, there's got to be an actual physical note to it. And there's a physical note to girding thy loins. And that's to practice your Kegel, to squeeze, hold it. Now, this is the beautiful part, okay? When you're practicing your Kegel, okay? Now, I want you to do this. Completely relax. Just let your booty hole open, because that's what it is. There's an actual movement to it, right? Some people walk around with it tight already, like they were born like that. Some don't. Some, make bad choices and shit. But what I'm saying is, okay, leave it. Now breathe in. Breathe out. Okay? Now instead, squeeze, gird up thy loins, and now breathe. Breathe out all the way, and then now breathe. While you're squeezing your Kegel, you breathe in. There's so much more energy that enters into your body, Israel. Let's see if we can find it. Well, this is what I'm saying from the root, because mankind was made from the root up. And Yahweh Shema Mashiach Shai, power formed man of the dust and of the ground. What is on the ground? Roots. And breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. Found it. And a man became a living soul. So when you squeeze and you gird thy loins, you actually squeeze and you breathe in and then you hold your breath and you push that breath down. That's all energy. Don't walk around with no breath in. It's better to walk around with a little bit of air inside you than not. And also it's better to walk around girding thy loins, squeezing thy kegel. I'm telling you, it makes it so much more easy. When you walk around like this and you see a hot girl, or you walk around like this and you're in a situation where you're being pressed or oppressed or manipulated, you are 10 times more likely, that's just a number I threw out there, I don't know why I said that, more likely to go with what your opposer or your opposition is trying to persuade or coerce you to do. But when you squeeze your kegel, you're promoting energy into your body that comes from your root energy location, okay? Girding up thy loins, fight or flight response. You're causing yourself to be like a rock. And so when somebody tries to manipulate you or press their will on you, when you gird up thy loins and you breathe at the same time, and when you breathe out and don't let go, it's hard, bro. It took me 3 months, about give or take 3 months to be able. Now I could literally all day like this, bro. I'm girded all day, and it brings so much more energy. I don't know how else to explain it. Gird up thy loins like a man. Let's see if we could look for something to further explain it. Okay, hold on. Look, there's the hand.
Know when their liver is not.
That's what I was just doing with my hand. That's timing, bro. That's timing. It's not speed or power. That was timing right there. Call all Yahweh Shema Mashiach Yahshua Ba Shemar Kakwadash.
A mode of perceiving threat, you're not gonna all of a sudden start slow yoga.
That's too much. Shut up.
Hi, it's Mr. Anderson. Today I'm going to talk about the fight. All of a sudden they realize there's a car coming, and then they youtube.com/Russia.
So that's that fight or flight response, okay? Now, if that guy was walking around, that guy before the car came, right? This is him walking around, right? His kegel could have been like this. Maybe could have been open. But when he saw the car coming, oh, you better believe he closed that. That's what gave him that energy to get out of the way. There's so much wisdom, Israel.
This is from youtube.com/Russia today. So we got this person here walking down the street. All of a sudden they realize there's a car coming, and then they get out of the way. Now, if I were to keep playing it, the guy jumps out of the car, comes running in this direction. But basically, I want to talk about what's going on. So once this guy sees the car, how does he, number one, get out of the way? And then how does that affect?
First of all, it's because Yahweh Shema Mashiach Yahushai allowed him to. And then we can get into the physical reasoning and the chemicals involved and the energies involved.
His body, how does that affect the organs and the chemistry and all of that inside his body? And so that whole thing is called the fight or flight. And so when I ask students, you know, how does he get out of the way of the car? The answer is always adrenaline. And the right answer is no, it's not adrenaline. Adrenaline's not going to be able to get there.
The right answer is to gird up thy loins like a man!
That quickly. And so how does a guy really get out of the way? Well, he's going to see the car coming. He's going to process that in his brain, and then he's going to send a message down his nervous system. That nervous system is going to be attached to muscles, and those muscles are going to have ATP ready to go. And so the way he's able to jump out of the way and not get hit by the car doesn't have anything to do with the fight or flight response. It's simply his nervous system, his muscles, and just responding to that threat immediately. But if you've ever been in a situation like that where you just barely survive an accident or something like that, all of a sudden you feel this rush of just your heart starts beating faster, you're breathing, you feel warm. Now that's part of the fight or flight response, because this guy right here, since he's living in a city, is able to just kind of walk back onto the road and keep about his business. But back in the day, if you were attacked by a mountain lion or somebody else, you had to fight now. You had to flee, or you had to attack.
But we became weak out of comfort. We've been given so much comfort. Laws, well, not our laws, but their laws. Police, right? Government, oppression. And so now we're no longer defending ourselves, but we rely on an entity above us to protect us with their powers instead of our skills. So instead of our own fighting, Salakia, instead of our power, Yahweh Shema Mashiach El Shai, we have been bred to rely on our enemy, to trust in our enemy, right? But back in the day, we used to walk around with our kegel, right? Our gird, girding up thy loins, like this. Not like this. Hey, hi, hey, brother, hey, shalom, man. No, nigga, like this. Call all y'all, boss, and Mashiach outside.
Attack the attacker. And so all of that is part of what's called the sympathetic nervous system, where that system in that area of the centered around his brain is essentially going to send a signal. Now that signal, not only are we getting signals that are going to the muscle.
Okay. This is the part where it goes. This is roughly paraphrasing. Okay, Luke 16:8, and Yahweh Shem Yoshai commanded the unjust steward because he had done wisely. For the children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of the light. That's us. Our enemies are smarter than us because we've been oppressed. We've been under curses. How are we going to be better than our enemy if we've been blind, mad, and confused and astonished at heart? That's pride, my niggas. We're not kings yet. We're man. That's it. A prince at the most, maybe. You know? But we're not going to be no kings until Yahweh Shem HaMashiach Yahushua gets here. Y'all need to humble down. Let go of that pride, my nigga. Okay.
Allow you to.
Okay, so now, with that being said, for the children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of the light. Everybody, okay, every single body part, like the brain, the lungs, the heart, the your insides, the intestines, your kidney, your livers, all those carry parts of your spirit in them. And so there are energies that are in your body. And if you could find, well, I don't know if it's not in your lot, it's not in your lot. But Yahweh Shema Mashiach Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakakodash has put it in my lot to fall in love with wisdom and understanding. And I'm in love with her. And I hate when she leaves me. Because it's pointless when she leaves me. It's like, I'd rather be dead than dumb as nails. I'd rather be dead than dumb as nails. And being dead ain't lively either, so I'd rather be with wisdom. Anyway, I've learned how to, it started with girding my loins, and it's moved up to where I've been breathing now, girding my loins, and I've been learning how to gird my loins, breathe in, and I could feel with my mind, I could move my energy from my brain down my spine, all the way to the base of my spine, and then I squeeze it there, and then I push it back up my spine, and it goes back to my brain. You could do it a few times, but I like to do it 3 times, which is a few. Plus, you know, one more. Hey! Okay, anyway. So what I do is gird my loins, squeeze my kegel, breathe in, and I hold my breath in, and I push that breath down like if I was literally swallowing it down my intestines, down into my bladder, down into my loins, down there into my the back of my spine. And then I squeeze it, and it feels dense, and it kind of hurts. But it wasn't that easy of a process. It was like a breakdown. Like I had to break my body apart. Well, Yahweh Shema Mashiach Yahushai allowed me to break my body apart using wisdom and breath and technique and girding thy loins and wisdom. And I have now more energy throughout the week. On Friday, normally on Fridays, I was always, at the end, by Friday, I'm dead. I'm like over it. But now that I'm girding my loins and I'm doing things with the breath of life while girding my loins, and I'm pushing my breath down all the way down to my spine, and then I'm pushing back up, I could literally crack my spine from within. Like if there's a knot or like something in my spine, it's like not right, I can literally do my breathing techniques, girding my loins, and then I could like push the air down to that section that hurts in my spine. And it's like if you were to like press a soda can and then somehow go into the soda can and then push the soda can back out so that it's not dented no more. That's what it feels like. So it's like I feel stronger. So that's why I'm trying to teach y'all, Israel, to start girding your loins.
But it's going to send a signal all the way down, a nervous signal all the way down here. Because in the center of our adrenal gland, we have something called the adrenal medulla.
I'm going to have to break it because
nervously to the brain. So
I don't know.